Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of my Dorney Park recreation. In the last episode, we finished working on Wildwater Kingdom, the water park inside Dorney Park here. Got all the rides built out and the pathing and everything, leaving the interior of the entire park pretty much complete at this point. I did mention, as I usually say, that I did want to spend some time doing some more detailing and cleanup and things. There's some little bits and pieces that I want to add in here to help make it look a little bit nicer. Haven't really had any time to work on that lately. Been a bit of a busy fall so far, but that's alright. I'll find some time to work on that off camera later probably. So the last bits of the park that we have left to do is going to be basically everything outside the park that we haven't touched yet. There are some more backlot buildings back here behind the splash boats, and there's some maintenance stuff and parking over here by Steel Force. So we need to get all of those things built out. Unlike we did in my Cedar Point build, I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time making a very large parking lot, as it is going to take up a lot of time and it's going to distract from the main park a little bit. It doesn't really add a whole lot of value, so I'm probably going to be black tiling a lot of this quadrant of the map over here, just so we don't need to build anything that doesn't really add a whole lot of value. But I do want to get some of these backlot buildings done, so I think that's what we're going to focus on today. So not sure where we're going to begin, but I'm going to pick some areas that look interesting and start building some stuff behind the scenes. So let's get going. All right, taking a little break here for a quick recap as usual. So built out these pavilions back here. As you can see, they are not accessible by guests. Don't want them to get lost back here because it's definitely going to be difficult for a peep to navigate their way back out if they did manage to find their way back here. Not much else going on over here, just some service roads. I think there's some maintenance stuff. Really minor though, like no real big buildings. I don't want to spend a lot of time detailing like a bunch of tiny stuff over here. Might throw in a couple like trucks or something later on. There's also another service road over here that goes all the way over to the Hydra block break area. Not sure how detailed I'm going to get with that. I feel like there's not quite enough room to add a whole service road in there. Might make things look a little bit messy, so I think I'm just going to make this kind of blended in with the dirt and then ignore it, pretty much. So I've also started to black tile some of the areas over here. I know I'm not going to build anything else further on back here, so I can just make some of this ground black and then lower it all down. So we're shaping the outside of the park to hide stuff that we don't care about that we're not going to build. And as I'm getting over here, I'm noticing over in this area with the river rapids here, Thunder Canyon, a couple little details I definitely missed and I meant to go back and add in and then never did. The pathing over here doesn't have any fences, missing a bunch of foliage over here. I think I should clean that up next, probably get this area finished out so this whole back of the park area is considered complete. All right, we have the area behind the river rapids and train built out here a little bit more. Some foliage and some service roads, fences, things like that built in here, and taken down some of the empty tiles with some black tiling. Getting met up here with the area at the end of the water park that we filled in the last episode. Getting the edge of the park sculpted like this does make it look pretty nice. Still probably some more tweaking to do, some cleanup as usual, but I just want to keep making progress and keep on going. I think I'm just going to continue around the park. I guess we're kind of going counterclockwise here. Finish this little service road over here, as I mentioned, and then see if we can fix up this lake over here that the creek dumps into. See if we can make this shaped a little bit better, add some more details in there, things like that. All right, just another little break here. Just doing some more landscaping and some foliage. I do like doing this kind of work, even though it's a little bit repetitive. Not really as impactful as, you know, building actual rides and stuff. It's satisfying to do. Nice and relaxing kind of work. So this side of the lake is looking pretty all right. Nice way to frame the back of the park over here. Did add in a little Easter egg for somebody in the comments a while ago mentioned something about the Hercules footers that are out here in the lake. You can still see them on Google Maps. But the wooden coaster Hercules that Hydra replaced apparently went all the way out here. It was a pretty long ride. Anyway, not much really to say about this. We're just going to keep on heading back towards this area over here, where we have the other side of the lake to kind of clean up over here, and some more of our backlot buildings I mentioned earlier. I believe if my research is correct, this actually used to be where the original entrance of the park was. Don't remember if I mentioned that earlier or not. So that's why there's some maintenance buildings and administrative buildings over here, some parking lots and things like that. So going to build some of that here, help spruce this area up. I think I am going to add a second fake exit over here somewhere. I think I mentioned that in a previous episode. We have some peeps getting lost over here on the possessed midway. You can see a couple sad ones over here. And having a second exit probably over here by the Steel Force exit would help with some of that. Not that it's a huge deal, our park rating is fine, but I figured it would help. So something I plan on doing when I go over there, but we'll see how the maintenance areas over here by Steel Force goes. All right, time for me to take another little break. I think we're going to end the build session for right now. I got some stuff to do, but we'll come back to this soon enough and finish off the episode. Made some good progress on this backlot stuff though. Similar to the other backlot stuff we've done so far, we just have a bunch of buildings and some roads to access those buildings by. Made some progress here on getting the shapes of this area done, but we have some cracks to fill in, especially some of the foliage here that goes around the blank space here in the middle. We've got some vehicles to add, some little details to put in here, of course. Started working on this parking area over here. Yeah, this weird sloped area, which I think is for just employee parking. It's a very strange shaped parking area, probably because it's on a hill in real life, a pretty steep one. Leaving mine flat here just for ease of building. But it does stretch all the way across this whole area here. Probably gonna black tile some more of it. I don't want to build more than I have to, of course. So probably going to take down at least this far for the foreseeable future. Might even go a little bit more than that, just because it's going to prevent me from having to build more stuff that I don't want to add. It is going to look nice with some trees around here, of course. That's a problem for later. But anyway, when we come back, gonna hopefully finish this parking lot without going absolutely insane and possibly get that exit over here built out that I was talking about earlier. Alrighty, I am back for another build session. It's a new day full of new promises, new hopes and dreams. Gonna work some more on some of this outside the park backlot stuff. And I've made an executive decision about the parking lot that I started building over here last time. And I think I'm just not gonna do it for a couple of reasons. One, it's a lot of work and it doesn't look good at all. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the way these weird parking spots turned out. Especially when you rotate around and looking at them this way, if you ignore the clipping through the scenery. It also is right where the top of the steel force lift is, and I hate when you have blocking like this and it kind of detracts from the coaster itself. Like I said earlier, if this stuff outside the park doesn't add a ton of value, I don't know if I really want to add it in there. So I think what I'm going to do is actually remove a lot of this and go with some black tiling instead. And it'll make it a lot easier to finish the outside of the park. I'm going to keep these buildings I built over here yesterday, but I think I'm going to go ahead and remove a lot of the empty green space over here. So it's going to make it easier for me to finish up everything. I think it's going to look a lot nicer in the end to not have just more weird parking spots out here. So yeah, let's get to it. this is where we're going to stop for today. Spent a little bit longer on this episode than I normally do, just because I'm really eager to get the edges of the park built out here, getting the foliage and everything and the black tiling all done. It's nice to see all that stuff come together. There's still quite a lot more detailing to do as usual, especially if I wanted to get the rest of the outside done. I did mention the parking lot earlier. Obviously we're not going to get to that today, just don't have time for it. So we'll get to that some other time. But that will probably be the end of the regular build, the next episode. All that's left to do is to do some little tweaks inside, lots of little cleanup, some detailing, like this road here needs some road lines and fences and things like that. That being said, things are looking pretty nice. It's nice to zoom out here and see what looks like, more of a finished park now that we've got some defined edges on it. So probably just one more episode to go to wrap up the outside, I think. Maybe another long one. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.